somebody that basically was an evangelist. He said he literally transformed my life. And he began to talk about all the things that God had done for him. And he began to tell even in that story. Paul says, listen, then after I was blinded, temporarily blinded, I met a guy named Ananias. And Ananias prayed for me, and after a while, I got healed. And then he says in verse 16, go down to verse 16, and now I tear shall rise and be baptized. He encouraged me to get baptized after I came to Christ. He says, I got baptized in water. He said, man, my life has never been the same, and God changed my life. He had a second paragraph they was able to write about his life story. Let me ask you. You have a BC, before Christ. You have a first paragraph. This is Paul's second paragraph. What's your story, if you wrote it, your testimony, if you could write that second paragraph of the day you gave your heart and Jesus got a hold of your life and changed your life. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. The old things pass away. Behold, all things become new. These men, I even got baptized. By the way, if your life gets changed, you want to be obedient to the Lord, and you ought to get baptized. Amen? Amen. You know, the very first thing the Lord wants us to do after we get saved is follow him and identify with Jesus and let the world know publicly through this great picture of the death of the gospel, the death, burial, and the resurrection, that we mean business with Jesus. We're going to be baptizing as soon as the weather starts turning a little bit warmer outside. Not a bad day today, to be honest with you. But we're going to be baptizing in the near future. And if you've not been scripted, you say, well, I got baptized when I was a baby. That's good. But you got wet when you were a baby. That's not scripture. Do you realize that every time the Bible talks to us about biblical baptism, it's post-conversion. After you get saved. They got saved, then they got baptized. They got saved, they had that second paragraph, then they got baptized. My friend, identify with Jesus. Don't be ashamed of identifying with Jesus and letting the world know. We have t-shirts and shirts that we give to those who are baptized. I've decided to follow Jesus. Amen? No turning back. No turning back. I hope that if you've not been baptized that you will. So he begins this testimony, his story, of what it was like before Christ. Then he tells this crowd in Hebrew what it was like when he got saved. Then he has a third paragraph. And he begins in, look at verse 15. He said, God changed my life so much that he gave me, since that time, he gave me a commission, instructions to go and to preach and take the gospel to everybody, including Gentiles. Look at verse 15. He says this. For thou shalt be his witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. And he began to tell them. He said, let me tell you. He said, God changed my life so much. He said, oh, I came from somebody that hated Christians, hated church, hated the godly things and Christian things. And I got saved. He got literally changed my life. And he said it was a miraculous thing that happened to me now. He says he wants me to go and to preach the gospel. God told me to serve him. God told me to take the gospel to everybody, men, women, and children. By the way, folks, in all of our stories, in our third paragraph, God's told all of us to do that as well. Amen, preacher. I hope you have a heart to serve the Lord. Because we have a BC, we have a first paragraph, we have a second paragraph that when we got saved, but I'll tell you in the third paragraph, you ought to have in your story, boy, since he's changed my life. I go to church now. I walk with Jesus the best now. I stumble and sin once in a while, but I tell you, God forgives me. I get back up and I get back serving the Lord. And I get back and I just want to serve the Lord and witness and tell people the wonderful story of what Jesus has done in my life and how he's changed my life. And let me tell you, folks, when you share your story and you have the opportunity to win somebody and to see somebody say because of the testimony that you have, it will bring revival all over again to your heart. It's like getting saved all over again. It'll excite you. Now notice if we go down to chapter 22 again, look at verse 22. And he said, unto me, depart. God's telling him this, for I'm going to send you from hence unto the Gentiles. He's telling them, these Jews in Hebrew, that he's going to the Gentiles. Well, that didn't go over very well. Look at the next verse. Look at verse 22. And they gave him his audience unto this word, and then lifted up their voices and said, away with such a fellow from this earth. He said, they got so mad. They said, we want to kill this guy. We want to rid the earth of this guy called Paul. Matter of fact, they got so upset. Look at verse 23. They cried out. They took their coats off, and they threw dust in the air. You said, why did they do that? Whether it's out of frustration? No. What they were saying by those demonstrations of taking their coat off and throwing dust in the air, that this guy, Paul, was proclaiming blasphemy.